Welcome back to Desert Dogs Garage and Metalworks. My name is Harry. I hope you're having a good day. I'm having a good day. I'm on that sidecar. Frames tacked down to my table as it goes on my 1999 Roan King. And I was getting started on it, and I noticed something, that I made this swing arm right here off, just measured as close as I can, the best I can, and when I look at it and lay it out, it's really not as square and as straight as I want it. So I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to make another one, because now I have my late 1940s Index Wells milling machine. It's called Super 55. So I picked it up at a good price, and I can't complain about that. So we got her in here, and so I'm going to machine this swing arm the best that I can. So anyway, what I got here is I made this part here, right there, and this is going to mimic it right here, the same one. So I'm going to have two. I'm going to show you how I did this part with this blank. So I'm going to show you that too. Then also my rails right here, going to mimic this. If I can hold this all together like this, this will end up like that. The same thing. This is a little longer than this. I want it longer so that I can adjust as I go, because I think I'm going to need some more room, which is another reason for scrapping the one I made. Yeah, so okay, so that swing arm's gone. Get that out of the way. And again, we got these. This is one side with that on there. This is going to be the other side that I have to mill, chamfer that, not chamfer it, but I got to take that out so that this fits in there, and it's going to fit in there like that. This one here is all machined and ready to go to weld back together. So now what I have to do with this piece here, I'm going to cut this with a saw first, then I'm going to get it on my mill, and I'm going to get it just right to my tolerances that I want. So I should be able to get it pretty darn close. And then this one here, I have to pretty much duplicate it and make it the same width, like that. So that's how I'm going to do it. What else? Okay, so anyways, these are going to go like this. This one's going to be milled into here like that. Just going to lay it there for now. This is going to be the back bracket, or the back of the swing arm. The wheel's going to set in here. If you can visualize this, yeah, you should be able to. Visualize that right here. This is just my exact same dimensions. It's the same dimension, just thinner. It's just a sacrificial piece. That is going to keep me gauged back here when I get all this together right there. So yeah, but anyway, you'll see it as it comes together. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do today, and come along and see how I do it, and see how good I can get it with my new machine. So stick around. Alright, well, I'm at the milling machine. I got all my parts here. I got my swing arm side brackets, I'm going to call these, and this is one of the parts I have to mill. And this part, what I have to do is I have to notch it out a ½ inch here, a little over 2 inches. But here, I have a drawing I'll show you. That right there, I had to cross that out because I put that in the CAD program wrong. But anyway, that's what it is. 17 inches long, 1.5 inches, 1 inch here, and then I have to do a cutout of a ½ inch deep and about 2 inches. The one I got is 2.043, the one that I already have done. So that's how I'm going to cut that out. That's one piece I got to cut out. The other piece is this one here, and I have to do the hole here. But this I got to mill down to ½ inch, and I'm going to do that right now. So get my drawing back. All right, now drop her down a little bit. I got parallels. I put me 2 parallels in here, which are machined edges that keep it, the vise is squared off of this right to the button. I did that. So now, I don't want that side in. I want this side with the mill scale on there. So I want this down to 1/2. I better measure that first. I'll get her in there to take it back out. So I want this 1/2 inch. So where we are at right now is right there. 5.034. So that's what I gotta take off 34 thousandths of an inch off of that. Alright, so again, I got my parallels in here. I'll lay my part on my parallels, which keeps it flat. Get my part in there, make sure she's in there, and tighten her down. Don't need that in here right now. I do need my coffee. Drink that shit all day. Love it. Just love it. Alright, now you can see in there. Anyway, I'm going to bring my bit down till it touches this, and that will be my 0. Okay? Or I'm going to bring up my table till that touches that, but I'm going to run the mill. Yeah. I love this thing so far. It's really done me great. So I'm going to bring that up there just till it touches. So I'll hear it. See it too. Okay, touching, you can hear it. Okay, now I'm going to bring my x-axis over this way here. Okay, out of the way. So now I'm at 0. I'm going to 0 my gauge here. Alright, we're on the 0. Okay, that'd be 34 thousandths of an inch that I'm going to take off. I'm not gonna hog all that off right now. I'm going to do half. So I'm just going to go 15 thousandths of an inch up. Tighten down that bed. Loosen this one up so we can move around. That's loose. That's loose. All right. So now I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to run her through. I don't have a power feed, so old school. I just got this, so I actually want to learn it like the old school guys, and later on down the road I'll get one. Okay, now I want to come over here. I'm going to come back. About 4 passes will probably do it. That's what it's been taking. Alright, so we'll get this part done. I'm going to run my bed out that way, put my mic on it, and see where we're at. Should be 15 thousandths off. Yeah, actually about 16. So I'm going to go 11 more. Loosen this up. Go 11. Actually, I'm just going to go 10. And get her back up here. My parallels are moving a little bit. Okay. I'll run my X-axis bed over there again and measure it. Should be darn close here. Right there. So I'm going to leave it 1/1000. Alright, so I changed and got my chuck in here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a pilot hole, a starter hole in my stock. So now I'm going to determine this, my bit, the diameter of my bit is 0.190. So I divide that. 190 divided by 2, that gives me 95 thousandths of an inch. So I got to move this table 95 thousandths of an inch that way, and then what I will get is now my bit, the tip of my bit, or the spear, whatever you want to call it, is going to be centered right on this edge of this right here. So now what I want to do here, now I'm going to set this back to 0. Okay, 0 right there. Okay. Alright, so we're at 0. So now I want to come 1 inch over, which just reads in 200 thousandths of an inch. So 200,000, I got to go 5 revolutions here, and I should be 1 inch. Okay, so now, make sure we're loose there. Now I want to come in, there's 1 revolution, 2 revolutions, 3, 4, 5, and I'm on my 0. So now I should be pretty much centered there. Okay, now I'm going to drop my table a little. Okay, move this back. I gotta remember to come back to 0 on this. Move my table a little bit. Turn this, and this back to 0 so I don't forget. Lock my heel. Alright, so now that my center is right on the edge of this part here, I need to move the bed that way 1 inch. So, which is 5 revolutions on here. Revolutions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, from there, I'm just kind of going to double check her here. Yep. good and good. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure all my points are locked down. I don't want nothing moving on me because it's gonna stay right there now. I'm gonna do all my drilling right here. I don't want to move it. So first I'm gonna start with a pilot hole. It out. Now I am going to get 9/16. That'll start my hole here. All right, now this one all the way through. Use a pig fat. This is lard, pig fat. Pig. Smell like bacon. Alright, we'll get this out of here. 5/8 bit. That's what that is. 5/8. Okay, now I got to change this out. Chuck out of there. This is the daddy right there. Gotta get this taper out of here. Piece has its own taper right here. So what this is an offset boring hole for boring holes. So I'm going to set that right there to about 0. And what it is as you turn this, it offsets this bit right here. Yeah, it's pretty cool, and then it makes your hole bigger. It's the only way I got to bore a 3/4 inch hole. So I'm going to get that pretty much set to center. Get it up in here. Takes a few passes, but it works. Works great. And I have a 3/4 inch blank here that's exactly 3/4 that I can just test fit in my hole there. So now, bringing this all the way up. Okay, put our handle on. Now, all right, so I'm gonna start making my 3/4 hole. Like I said, I have a little gap here in between it that I can do my test plug in there. So I'm gonna just do a little bits at a time and keep testing it. Worked best last time that way, so come pass through. Out, put her down, get my Allen wrench. Here, I'm gonna go a little gauge right here. I'm gonna go 15 thousandths on that one, and we'll give her again a little bit of bacon. 1 really works good. Crazy. Read that in an old school milling book. And a lathe book to use lard. So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to go check my hole. I know I'm not there yet. No, I'm going to go 15 thousandths more. So what it's doing is it's offsetting this and making that kind of an out of wobble bore. And it's cutting me a 3/4 inch hole. Got a whole bunch of parts and bits with this, and this came with this mill. I didn't know what it was till I started studying. I'm going, that's like an offset. Boy, you can see the goofy roundness of it. And every time I offset this more, it just expands my hole. I don't have much more to go. I'm gonna go. I'm going to creep on these 5 thousandths right there, see what we get. Real slow with this one, maybe get a real nice hole. Let her slow down. My chomper's in there. There we go. She fits in there. There's my 3/4 hole right there. Works great. I love it. Cool. Okay. Let's get this bit out of here, and I'll come back after I'm set up again. All right. So this, remember, I'm going to take a 1/2 inch out of here, a slot out of there. So what I'm going to do, what I did was I took, and I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah, you can. See my little scribe lines right there? I'm going to go out on the bandsaw, and I'm going to get close to those lines versus chunking all that off here with this. Just seems like too much weight. I can start it with the bandsaw. So I'm going to go out there and get it done, and I'll come back in. Alright, so I got my part in here right now. I cut it with my saw. Actually, I used the death wheel. Cut it with that, got it close to my lines to where I scribed, and now I took my bit, touched the top of my piece and my vise, and brought this down 50 thousandths of an inch. 500 thousandths of an inch. That's a 1/2 of an inch. So now I'm just going to run it across and get her to where I want it. Okay, now kind of hard to see is across. That might not work out well. Okay. Put one of my pieces in there just to see that I'm good. And I am good. I'm flush with it. Got a little burr on there. Alright, now pull my part out. I think I might get that in there a little bit too tight. I'm going to hit this on the grinder, clean it up some. So I have two pieces that are pretty much identical and square right there. All right, so I'm gonna get these on the bench table, get them set up, and see, I might need to trim just a little more off. I gotta check them for them both, and then we'll go from there. So I'll get set up and we'll be back. All right, well, we'll get this welded up. It's another day again. I didn't finish, so I got one of these welded up right here. Got set up, I got that one welded up. Here it is, and I'll show you how I did it here. I made a couple to get the dimensions here and here equal, and I want this straight in parallel with this here, so it's not running all kooky or cockeyed. So to run like that, I want the dimensions. So I want the dimensions. I want this here and this here, right here and right there, exactly the same. It's nice and square because, again, I machined this. So what I did was I made me a couple pieces here that are 0.341 thousandths of an inch thick, and that's exactly my my dimension space between here and here. So all I did was I made the pieces up. I'm gonna set one there, set one down here, want this right about there, and then I'm gonna line that up there. So now I'm gonna clamp that all tight. All right, so I'm gonna clamp that all tight. So this one here, I'm gonna get her set right about there. Yeah, I think I'll start on this end over here. Oh, that's right, I had this in there. Gotta remember how the hell I did this. Yeah, like that. So I can keep this. Now this right here is a true gauge. It's machined. I bought it. I use it for cylinder heads, checking the tops of a cylinder head or a block to make sure it's all nice, true, and flat. And that's what it's made for. So it's right on the money. Ain't no doubt. And I'm gonna clamp this one down here. I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna clamp this end down. Just snug these right now, I'll tighten them in a bit after I get these pulled over, just to make sure. Right in that hole. Okay, I moved that over. I want to move this over so I can weld in there. Okay, that's down. I'm gonna put this down. A lot of clamps. Okay, that's down there. And then I want to make sure I'm tight right back here. All right, so I got everything down, clamped down, pulled in, clamp down, and that's tight to there. So now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to run my beads right across here. I'm going to let it cool off for a while, then I'm going to flip it. So get to her here. Put on the good welding shields. I can see way better with these. All right, welder's ready to go. All right, get that out of the way. Yeah, I'm gonna move that caliper. I don't want to melt that lens. And then I'm gonna lay down some anti-splatter. This will make it so that the splatter does not land on my machine part, good machine part here. I don't want it to stick to anything here. This is a good flat piece and that's a good flat piece. And if I booger it up, I'm gonna screw it up. Don't want to do that. All right. Get a little air in there. And let's weld this one up. Okay, this side. All right, let that sit and cool down, and I'll flip it over and weld the backs in the corner. This right in front here, there'll be a gaping hole for now, but I'm going to put a piece in there. So yeah, let that cool, and yeah, go have a sip of some coffee. Drink that shit all day. Be back. All right, so I got it undone. It's cooled down. I can hold my hand on it. So now I'm gonna get weld in here, flip it here, and weld in there. So it's kind of what I got there. Yeah, I'll get this all welded up, and then that'll be nice. And again, I'm gonna end up putting a cap on here too. So yeah, but that'll come down the road. All right, let's weld this all up here. Probably better put my clamp on there. Ugh, holy sheep shit. All right, let's go. One more. Sweet. All right. Okay, so I'll get set up and we'll get everything in between here. So I'll get it set up and go from there. All right, so I got my swing arm all jigged up, I guess I'm gonna call it. I got it clamped down on my flat piece here that keeps it straight. I got a couple pieces of parallel, which are machining parallels, which are right size that fit under here to hold that just about right. I want to put my axle shaft through here. I got my other piece that's exactly the same length as the back. This is just sacrificial. It's going to be gone in a bit after it's welded together. This is back here, and I got it squared up. But I'm just, before I tack it one more time, before I weld it and tack it, I'm going to measure my squareness right there. 15, 29, 30 seconds. 15, 29, 30 seconds. So I got that, as far as I'm going to say, perfectly square. Yeah, might be off a little bit. Pretty good. I think it's great, man. So, okay. I am going to get to welding. Check one more thing here quick. Pretty damn good with that axle. Pretty straight. Yeah. Okay. Let's get the weld and get this axle out of the, or get this swing arm out of the way. Oh. All right. Get a little mix to the tip here. I have a habit of always, my gas is on, of course, running a little bit, about 5 inches out of here. just so that the gas gets to the tip, because sometimes you start it up and you look and it's all boogery, and it's because of that. I gotta get some of this parallels out of here. I don't want nothing sprayed on all my, splattered on my good stuff. Set her down there, gloves on, and get on some welds. Give me a couple good tacks here. Ow. Okay, let's get some tacks. On there. On there. 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 Now. Yeah. Okay, I'll have to re-rig this for that don't pull on that. Get a couple down on the bottom. Yeah, I'm just going to weld up here. Weld up here. That'll hold her there. Couple here. What do they say? That ain't going nowhere. Okay, I'll let that cool down and get it all welded up before I move it here. So, all right, so I moved my clamps out of the way right there so I can get me a couple good welds in there. And then I can move this thing around. All right. All right, give that a couple minutes and flip it over and weld her up and be done with that swing arm. I'll clean it up and yeah. All right, well, she's cooled down enough. I flipped it and I'm ready to do the final weld here. So, and then strategize my next move here. So, all right, let's get her done. One more. Done and welded. Done and welded. All right, well, I guess that's it for this one. Next time what I'm going to do is get this puppy mounted on the wheel. I think it looked pretty good. I ain't going to take that out yet. Get this puppy mounted on the wheel, get it up here and figure out my gymnastics. Or my geometry, my angles, my pivot points and everything. I'll get that going. So, but that's what I got on this one. So that's what I'll do on the next one. Get that wheel up on the bench, mocked up, and figure out what's next. So, but hey, appreciate you guys watching this. If you would, you please hit that thumbs up and the subscribe button. It really helps. It appreciates it, gets it going, and lets other people see it too. Gets it out farther when you help me with this. So I'm just in it to have a good time. So, but anyway, like I said, till the next time, peace.